Hello everybody, welcome to the live watch on of Chelsea vs Everton in the Premier League. Hopefully we can go and start off the season with 3 points.
I think the pace of Chelsea is going to be a problem. You've always got to keep your eye on Raheem Sterling. He's going to be
Raheem Sterling, hopefully he plays well, and Koulibaly.
Big signing for them.
Come on, Chelsea.
I love your confidence. I think this is going to be a new player. You want to make sure you make it
Wow.
tough for Koulibaly as well. Turn him, make it tough for them.
Come on, Chelsea.
Important as well, Duncan. You saw at the end of the season, didn't you?
Going to be really important, yeah. But it's going to be a great game, and as I said, I'm tipping Everton for the victory.
Come on, Chelsea.
Listen to that noise as the players come out the tunnels. A couple of new players in there for Everton who are starting there.
Who should have played for Scotland against Ukraine and didn't play because he was injured and cost us.
It's a different feeling.
It's a brilliant experience for the Goodison. It's a fantastic stadium.
Come on, it.
And they'll be
Come on,
obviously
Chelsea.
pumped up for the match, and I'm sure they'll play it very well.
Let's see how this one
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous.
Alan Smith and Bill Leslie.
Thank you, Kelly. Welcome back to a new Premier League season, everyone. The 31st season.
Give you the lineup. Chelsea, Mendy, Aspilicueta, Silva, Koulibaly, James, Kante, Jorginho, Chile, because I'm not butchering his name, you know what that is. Mount, Havertz, Sterling on the bench, Kepa, Cucurella, Chalobah, Gallagher, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, who you don't like, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Armando Broja is on the bench. And then the West Ham, the Everton team, I'm just not, that's the Everton side. I'm all over the place today. It's just been a hot day. There's the Everton team to play Chelsea. There you go. And there you go. That's the Everton team to play Chelsea today. Yeah. So we signed him. So basically, we signed him before 12 o'clock on Friday, so it meant he could play. After they're playing 3 up front. Come on, Chelsea. And that's good, Riley. Come on, Chelsea. That kit looks so nice, even when they're not even moving. But the only thing that's a negative is that the 3 logo's too big. If you put it in the middle, in the little bit, it just looks a little bit too big. It's like it's taking too much away from the rest of the shirt. But apart from that, it's good.
New season, Alan Smith, and a couple of new faces to cast your eye over. Yep, James Tarkowski's looked bright and sharp in pre-season. His new club, a solid addition to this team, no question. But playing in the 3 is something he wasn't used to at Burnley.
Come on, Chelsea.
Just ahead on that side. So, hoping with the movement and pace of Chelsea's front 3 won't be easy to do.
Why?
Of course, Raheem Sterling looks like a fantastic signing to me. Shouldn't have any trouble.
It said, I'm watching this game from Grantham. So have you been watching Grantham Town? Oh, this is going to be interesting to see what the camera angle Everton are going to put.
4 wins in their last 6 Premier League games here, including that one against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. Tuchel, of course, the man who replaced Frank Lampard.
Oh, left, so it's this way. Oh my! But it's due to how the ground is and how old it is.
There was a meeting between the Premier League captains ahead of the season, and they decided that taking the knee would be for special occasions. The start of the Premier League season comes into that. The anti-racism and anti-discrimination message sent out.
Here we go, the game. Game is underway. Chelsea gets our season underway away at Everton. Let's go and start the season off with a bang.
Familiar kit for Chelsea, that new kit parlance that the manufacturers like. It is an ice-cold print stripe
because we already know.
Very much in blue.
Because we already know what the
Doucouré.
instinct of what the players are going to do. The first time they get the ball, they're going to loft up to say Sterling, and he just does the rest.
Well, Everton certainly getting the support.
For him to then go and supply it to the strikers.
That came out. And they're going to need that against this Chelsea side, I think.
Cucurella.
Kalidou Koulibaly, personality.
Cucurella.
Thomas,
He needs a haircut.
The manager Thomas Tuchel used about him. Might have heard it in his pre-match interview. We'll certainly have a test here.
There it is.
Despite his
There it.
experience, 31
Oh,
years old,
the-
part of a Chelsea back three that has a combined age of 100.
And also, Sky Sports need to mention that Koulibaly's got the most legendary number in our history.
Not the best delivery. James can get the first touch on it.
He's got the dreaded 26, which has got put more pressure on him.
Doucouré. Inuobi.
It just puts more pressure on him because of how iconic that number is. Yeah, he goes. Yes, G-Town Academy played today, but the first team was at St George's Park ready for the NPL East season next week. Oh, so he's there watching. So get ready when Pontefract go and smash Grantham Town, and that's coming, and that's from a friend.
Search for that ball across the front line.
I'll keep an eye on both because I always
Goes
tend
for Chelsea.
to, but he's also put the new Sky Sports scoreboard and graphics are not suited, ready for the new season. Retire and bring back the old scoreboard.
A strong pre-season for Everton. Doucouré has got himself in the box and he got his head on the ball as well.
Yeah, because it's good because then you know who's actually playing. As I was saying to my dad the other day when we were watching Arsenal games, that they must have been watching what streamers are doing because that's how streamers do their streams. They put like the badges on with the score next to it. So they must have been watching how we've all been doing it. And going, it's the best way for it.
Thiago Silva.
This kit looks so good. This kit looks so good.
He signed a new 2-year extension to his contract, so because of Barcelona reject it. Chelsea and Barcelona.
Oh yeah, I can't see Aspie. I can't see Aspie.
Fairly frequently.
I can't see
in
Aspie.
this transfer window. N'Golo Kanté.
Oh,
Sterling. James.
he said, pitching in the Northern Premier League East Division. I mean, don't worry, we got Lincoln and Grimsby home and away this season. Let's have a Ponte.
And Chelsea coming into this on the back of what you have to say was a nearly season, nearly out of action completely as those sanctions hit with former owner. And of course there was at some point doubt about the whole operation being shut down. And then of course on the field Thomas Tuchel beaten in 2 finals against Liverpool on penalties, edged out in
And this is
the Champions
me.
League and 19 points they finished.
Yeah. And that's me.
Manchester City, the champions.
Yeah, I just put to him, and that's for you. Ponte are better than Grantham Town.
Talented manager. Things are settling down there at the bridge.
And they gifted ball.
And Pontefract play Grimsby Borough on the opening day.
Patterson.
Iwobi finding Mikalenko
Yeah.
and Damari Gray. Tarkowski. Over pre-season, there's anything to go by. He's able to slot in seamlessly. No one knows his way about the Premier League defence as well as Tarkowski. More blocks than anyone else last season. Even though it was in vain in terms of Burnley's Premier League survival.
Yeah, this move so consistent for Burnley over the years.
He's even put Ponte or Monty compared to us because we've got the gingerbread burger, which is double bacon cheeseburger, yeah. And so yeah, Ponte are in the bin.
He's certainly oven ready to come in and shore up an Everton defence that was much too brittle last season. One of their worst ever.
And also, you want to know that Grantham got relegated by finishing bottom of their league.
What a call for Lampard. Try and stem the flow.
Gavin Howard.
Sterling. Tarkowski nicked in. Too strongly. Craig Pawson, our referee here this afternoon, and giving Chelsea the free kick.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling saw this challenge coming. He's so wily, moves the ball quickly.
Is he actually? But we've got Shildon at home on the opening weekend.
Set high by the referee. Didn't appear to be a particular amount of contact there, but Chelsea will gladly see what they can do with this. Two England international fullbacks standing over it. Reece James and Ben Chilwell.
No.
Chelsea fans will be
Oh, please.
delighted to see them both back in action.
Oh, please don't say you're talking about
Chelsea head on it.
SO, the SAS, who dare win. That Rude, that Rudy. Yeah. Come on, Chelsea. It does get warm. It is being warm. Which is a good thing. Good, it's cool. Why does Kai Havertz look like Mason Mount? He's even gone now and said, yeah, we've been relegated from the Premier Division, but we're still unbeaten in pre-season. That doesn't mean anything.
Lovely footwork to find Sterling. Nina provided a vital barrier, really. Sterling would have been setting his sights to getting in on his international calling Pickford. Well, you can't overstate the importance of Yerry Mina to this Everton defence. Without him last season, they struggled. Big reason, a number of games he missed, that they conceded all those goals, particularly the set-piece ones that you mentioned, Alan. 22 of the 66 came from set-piece situations. Another low point or high point, depending on your perspective, in the Premier League.
Yeah, we've seen it with other teams. Leicester, another side that really did struggle. And in the end, I don't believe they can.
I don't think he is.
Situations.
I don't think he is. I think he's going to play him 45, and then he might play Cucurella for 45.
Jorginho, reunited, of course, with Koulibaly. They played under Maurizio Sarri together at Napoli. Now comes away with it for Chelsea. Koulibaly. Sterling looking to pick out James. And Bar Mikolenko has managed to do so.
Tried to be careful. Tried to be a bit nutty.
Touch off Gordon. Can spin through towards Havertz,
Come on.
but robust in the challenge was Patterson. And now McNeil. One of the two Burnley boys in the Everton side is on the ball. Encouraging early signs despite his lack of goals last season for Burnley. Dwight McNeil scored a couple of nice goals here in the final warm-up game against Dynamo Kyiv last week.
That's just referees for you.
Side for both these clubs, for both Everton and Chelsea, as to their last.
That's just referees for you. They don't like us.
Yeah, two solid signings in McNeil and Tarkowski. Two players that know the Premier League well. Oh.
Pickford just about able to prevent the corner, but he's gifted it here.
Oh, we just inside netting.
Now there's a collision between Havertz and Pickford.
Yeah,
Godfrey's down as well.
Calling for the physio.
Yeah, but
was it his back pass, I think, that completely caught Pickford out? He's not had a look at all. It's a blind one from the defender.
that is a corner.
The ball did go out of play, but they continued.
Yeah, because even Alan Smith has said that's a corner.
He knew straight away that the linesman wasn't quite up to it. I don't think he flagged on that far side. Oof.
And that guy is a legend at Chelsea.
And in doing so, on Havertz, he's hurt himself. And he looks
That
to be in
teaches
some
you
serious
right.
discomfort here as well.
That teaches you right, Everton. That teach. You know what? you know one thing, one thing that's made that is karma, because now
his time here.
yeah, you know what's karma? Karma is one of the Everton players now injured themselves because we didn't get a corner. So if we got given the court,
Yeah, he looks the most likely, doesn't he, Mason Holgate? I think Lampard has given him the sign.
here we go. I'm sorting this debate out because this guy is doing my nothing. It's saying here that your manager is a referee like Anthony Taylor. Do not talk about Anthony Taylor when Chelsea play, because that referee does not like Chelsea.
Looks like he's going to come on and replace Ben Godfrey.
Oh, to bring on Aaron Lennon. So Everton are now even more in the mud. They're now more in the mud, are Everton, because they've now got no Calvert-Lewin, and now they're going to have no Ben Godfrey. Here we go. See you this season. They're saying here that... Aha! Oh, this guy's bigging up Grantham Town like they're the best thing on sliced bread. He goes, yeah, and we got a bigger stadium than Ponty.
Manchester United for Brighton last season in that 4-0 win, playing on the left side of a 3. We'll see that he's able to produce a lot.
They're saying they've got a 7,500 stadium. But it's also, the difference is, it's also it's used for athletics as well. That's why.
In this league, it was a good one. That's inflation for you these days.
A full price for a fullback.
So that's why I thought I'm sorting this out between to see who's the better one. I put a poll on there. Vote. Just anyone, just vote on that. We can sort the issue out once and for all, and I'll do it. I'll get rid of that after. And I just put, who do you think's gonna have a better? Who's gonna have a better season?
Here to stay in the Premier League this season, but
even if you don't support him, just put your punt on who you think. It's just who people would think would have a better season. It's like me thinking who would have a better season over Liverpool and Everton. It's like that similar thing, and you would vote who you think will have a better season. So it's just put your punt. You think I'm relegated? Because that's what I'm good. Yeah, because that's what I'm aiming to do throughout the season. Is I'm going to add when teams in from different leagues and ask people's opinion who you think is going to have a better season out of these, because then you can get conversations going. He is, he's injured. But you want to know how Everton are now in the mud? They've got that injury coming, and they've also got no Calvert-Lewin. But he's very. You got to be careful. I think 'cause he likes to go in for challenges, quite aggressive.
Was a regular fixture in the back three.
Yep, so they're in the mud.
Frank Lampard in the run-in, started the last 7 games last season, so. In terms of the way they reshuffle, they should be able to slot in relatively seamlessly.
It's Hench. Yeah, say the same to John Terry. He's doing it, and he's done running in Portugal and plays golf. But the only thing I wouldn't do what I've seen John Terry do is he runs like nearly 8-mile runs. Yeah, I couldn't even run that. I'll be dead.
The last time Everton played here, the stadium saw one of its most memorable nights in recent memory, from 2-0 down at half-time to that 3-2 win against Palace. The scenes that followed helped erase all the anguish that preceded that. What this break has served to do, notwithstanding the concern over. But
it's not good. This break's not good for us, because we were actually in control of this game for. We were going somewhere, but now it's stopped them our momentum.
Maintaining the tradition of the hard-working Everton team, and they've got to try and pick that up again after this break. They can.
It looks like it's serious because he's now brought out the stretcher. Oh, there we go. 50-50. We'll wait and see at half time what that ends.
Well, 15 minutes on the clock, and this is an ovation in honour of a young Evertonian, Izzy O'Connor, who died recently, aged 15. Her dad Terry has asked for the Everton family to come together in her memory, and that is exactly what they're doing. The day after her funeral, he's here today, Terry, and this will be a tonic for him in very difficult times, and our thoughts go to him and all the O'Connor family.
Oh, Gareth Southgate is there. So Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling, all your England players perform well. You can get in the England squad. I'm going to say that's got to be the best away kit Chelsea have had in years.
Just over 7 minutes since Ben Godfrey went into that challenge on Kai Havertz. And he's going to be taken off straight into an ambulance by the look of things. Not bothering with going to the dressing room now, we'll remove him on this near side of the pitch. And he'll get all the best medical attention. And have warm applause from the Evertonians ringing in his ears as well.
Substitute from Everton, please show appreciation for number 22, Ben Godfrey.
So the change made.
To be replaced by number 4,
Come on, Chelsea.
Focus required from Everton, a set piece to defend.
Oh, is this Riley wanted to stir the pot? He's now saying get out of here because Ponty will move out of their home.
We've been underway again. Held in by James, and Holgate immediately gets his head on the ball.
You can't really have an opinion because he's never really been there. He's only been to watch Grantham.
Koulibaly hovering at the far post with Iwobi trying to contain him. And they'll reload again for a third time from that far corner. Well, there you go. There it is in black and white. The
Come on, Chelsea.
they had in that department. Mount will unleash.
Oh.
Saves low. Sterling trying to get onto it. Holgate.
That's good. I thought we were going to score there. I thought that was going to be the moment. Raheem Sterling.
First sustained spell of Chelsea
pressure. He's getting.
He's
now even put. Yes, I am stirring the pot. Ponty more likely because they will go down. Look, this guy's fake as well.
Well, he's right in the thick of it.
This guy's fake. Oh, that's a corner, but he goes over everyone.
Into the area actually where Koulibaly was for the previous corner, but he'd
Unlucky.
gone a little more central there. So pressure alleviated. Similarities in some ways to the shape of the pre-season that Thomas Tuchel and Frank Lampard had. Well, Thomas Tuchel's not happy there, having built up the pressure to alleviate it in that way.
These James maybe get a little telling to at half time.
Good lead by Koulibaly, Iwobi onto it.
They won't go down because they got two good of players. When you literally got a side who don't even have any well-known players, and will just go down.
Corners in there. Koulibaly with a really important touch. Away by Chilwell.
Come on, Joe.
What a lovely ball in that was. Beautifully flighted. Everton's first attack of any note.
Then if it is, it might go to VAR. Then it should go to VAR just to have a look.
How far off he was from this play with the delivery.
Yeah, there's Koulibaly for you. He's good at headering, he's good about it.
Doing the business behind.
Yeah, because when I was telling you when he's at Napoli, he was good for doing defensive like that. Then that is, and he does it here. He's going to be a world beater.
Anthony Gordon highlighting now the lack of Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front.
Yeah, that will be meat and drink.
Yeah, yeah. Now TV's always a little bit behind.
This is James. Back to the Chelsea skipper. He's threaded
Oi!
to Sterling.
Penalty! 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 Oh, that's a great! That's a penalty.
Everton living on the edge a little bit, and eventually with Sterling over the ball and perhaps getting a hand on it, I think that's why the free kick has gone against
But then,
Chelsea.
but then, what is Sterling meant to do when he's literally got three players literally hovering above him? What is he meant to do? What is he meant to do?
It's so difficult to handle in these situations.
Sterling's not even doing anything wrong.
Off the ball.
It shows that this referee's not going to give us anything.
I was talking a moment ago about the similarities.
Oh, what has he put now? He put Ponty are more like Norwich, who have been relegated because of their 12-man fans, have all got a red card and will still got 12 men through and through. This guy's, he's fake.
Minnesota United put 4 without answer against Everton. Frank Lampard putting a positive spin on that, saying that was the way they needed. Everton did come back here and play a couple of games and won a couple of games, one against Blackpool. And,
this is why I wanted to do on stream, do stuff like this, but not cause arguments, but just put 2 teams in the same league and who think will have a better season and do it for different leagues, so you can get like other conversations going. So at least it gets a bit of interaction. Because that's one thing that YouTube like on there. Because if you do more interaction in your stream, sometimes you'll get it'll get show more in the algorithm on it and everything.
Last one here. That's Chelsea's side to win here, actually. On the way to the title under Antonio Conte.
That Antonio Conte side was just an absolute joke of a team. That team was winning game after game.
Got to try and make the most of these situations, Everton. It's not been easy to carve out chances so far.
But I still think the best goal we scored that season was at Everton. It was by Pedro, because he scored from like nearly 40 yards. And Pedro still at his age can still score goals like that at his age.
The hand of Mendy.
Well done, Mendy.
Lofted in.
What a save! What a save, Mendy! What a... That just shows why he's number one. That shows why he's number one. Because he can do a save. He's even number one. He's even number one keeper for Sunday goal.
A little bit of pushing and shoving inside the
Yeah.
box there. Yerry Mina in the thick of it, and he's the one who's penalised.
Thank you. Thank you, Great Porson. You've actually given us something.
Yeah, feeling there was an elbow involved there.
Koulibaly. Jorginho.
All we need to do, is just get the ball to Sterling and let him do a little bit of his magic.
Held off by Gray. One back by Mount. Piliqueta.
Because you've also got to think Raheem Sterling was doing that when he played at City. He was doing that in every game, so he could be doing that with us, which is a good thing. One thing I will say, as soon as he scores 1 goal for Chelsea, I think a lot more will start flowing for him, and he'll have more confidence.
Patterson gets there first.
He's had a good solid
Oh,
start,
go on.
Watson.
Go on, Sterling. Oh, that's unlucky. So it sounds like Mason Holgate cannot stand Sterling.
It's really unfortunate for him. He arrived, as you see there, for a decent fee, £60 million from Rangers. Played against Boreham Wood in the FA Cup last season. Was taken off at half-time in that game and then picked up a knee injury. So
Kante to Sterling. Go!
until today, in Premier League terms anyway. Sterling, nice stuff from him. Holgate there patrolling that near post area.
Wow, Raheem Sterling just nearly turned the player inside out after a corner.
Inside the defender.
From a short corner. Come on, Chelsea. We can tell we're a lot more better now. Now we sort out the wing situation. Because Sterling's doing a lot better than what Pulisic would do.
Variation on the theme. Chelsea's last two corners have been a little bit below par, I think it's fair to say. And supporters won't care about that one shot.
Thomas Tuchel thinks about that one.
And defensively, we've actually been not too bad. Oh, Kante. Oh, Kante. Oh, Kante. Kante. Oh, Jesus. He did all that on his own.
Here's to Corey.
The only thing I'm hoping that the manager does brings Cucurella on in the second half. I want to see how he plays.
Flooding forward. Little deflection might help Gordon. And it was very awkward to generate any sort of power or direction after that deflection.
And also, we already know that most games Sterling's going to be playing 90 minutes.
Get on target or get any power behind, looping down onto him. Really difficult, but they've had a couple of moments, haven't they? Everton in the last 5.
And I feel that Chelsea are a little rattled.
Get up!
Winning the free kick.
It's not a free kick. It's not a free kick.
Well, the looks, of course, he did put his whistle to his lips, but then didn't blow. Yeah, you can hear what the home fans think of that.
Yeah, because the player made a meal of that. The player got the ball, I think. I think our player got the ball.
Plenty at Crystal Palace last night. How long it lasts in this season is another matter, I suppose, sometimes.
I think Aspilicueta got the... Yeah, Aspilicueta didn't even touch Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray went down too easily. It's just weird. As soon as one player just feels this littlest touch, he just goes down like an absolute kid.
Below the new high bar that the referees are instructed to bring into play this season.
Come on.
Koulibaly, Havertz. Everton free kick.
So is this referee not giving us anything?
He's been talking in the build-up to this game, Frank Lampard, about the fact that now effectively he has a clean slate, as he put it. Last season he came in and there was only one job effectively in his entry, and that was by bare means of power to keep Everton in the Premier League. The shave was a little too close for everyone's liking. Still a little bit of trepidation in some quarters around these parts about this season and what it holds.
Well done, Silva.
Well, they've probably been better since the break in play. Everton, he needs another chance.
McNeil. Touch from
Come on, Chelsea.
Sterling.
That's a foul.
In the back from Iwobi.
That is a foul.
The assistant on this near side flag. Chelsea get the free kick.
For once, he's actually giving Sterling something for actually being fouled.
Yeah, you're travelling this quickly as Sterling was, and you get get a little shove in the back, it does tend to make you go to ground. There will be made up a lot of ground there, but I think it is a foul.
He's getting a lot of stick for being an ex-Liverpool player. Even though that was years and years ago. Koulibaly, can you please get your big massive head onto it?
Rudiger was a big threat from these situations.
I want to see if Koulibaly can be threats from free kicks now. For his head.
Thiago Silva chipped in with 3 Premier League goals as well. He's very much in the reckoning here. Havertz looking to get a run on it.
That's a ball. Oh, he tried looking for Koulibaly.
Close enough to it.
Unlucky.
It's highly experienced, but this is a different tempo in the Premier League, and it will need an adjustment from the defender.
Come on.
James. Conte.
Come on, Chelsea.
Koulibaly. Sterling.
Koulibaly, what are you doing in midfield? You're a defender.
Lovely touch. Now Havertz in behind.
Yes. Oh.
Firmino was there with the block.
Yeah, he's trying to pick out N'Golo Conte there. Havertz, I'm pretty sure.
Sterling running rings around Everton.
Some neat, intricate play from Chelsea. That's a good block. An important block.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's his responsibility. That little area at the near post, he hasn't got anybody to mark. He's going to try and stop the ball floating over his head.
Nine corners already, we've not even got to half time yet.
In the corner count, but can they make one count?
That's corner number 10. We're playing better than last season because we weren't like this last season. We were a little bit panicking most of the time.
Law of averages would suggest he'll get one on the money before too long. And Patterson gets his head on it that time, followed up by Tarkowski. Jorginho.
You're not turning into Chiellini or Bonucci who does that on a regular basis.
Iwobi. Gordon eluding Jorginho.
Ricardo.
And fouled by Koulibaly.
Good. Well done, Koulibaly.
Departed the scene, Koulibaly. Pretty sharpish there, fearing that he might get booked. That's not going to happen, I don't think. And he's lucky. He's lucky.
Well, it ticks a lot of the boxes for a yellow card. He can consider himself fortunate, I think, they're the Senegalese international.
Yeah, I think maybe Craig Pawson thought it was a shove more than the pull of the shirt.
Well done. I just can't get enough of how that shirt looks. But you can't buy it until the end of the month.
If you look at the clock, you'll see it's 10 minutes left to play in this first half. If you have just joined us,
I thought they would have put it out straight away because the season started.
Treatment that Ben Godfrey required for his injury, so it's probably almost 20 minutes we have left to play in this first half.
Oh, this is good football from Chelsea. Oh, Sterling.
Yeah, it's the multi-ball now, isn't it, at every ground, so you'll see players grabbing those balls that are around the pitch on the cones and getting started again quickly, and as opponents, you've got to be ready for that.
Yeah, the multi-ball, one of many initiatives brought in by the Premier League this season to try and ensure that the pace of the game stays right up there, that time wasting is minimised.
I think the average time for the ball in play is about 55 minutes, which is incredible. I'd imagine it was a lot more than that.
Given that figure, you can understand why the league keen to get it in play a little more. James.
That's the ball.
To meet it. Chilwell thought he carved out another corner. That's not the case.
Chelsea, man.
Mark Cucurella now departed Brighton. I'm sure he'll have an eye on the first part of our Super Sub here at least. Brighton in the northwest against Manchester United from 1 o'clock. Eric Ten Hag's first game in charge. Part 2, the champions go to West Ham. That is from 4. First half with
But you've already,
yeah. Perhaps the most worthy. And the man who's on the ball now, Tarkowski, forcing that save from Edouard Mendy.
Yep, so Everton are going to have to work if they want to get anything from this.
Yeah, defensively, Everton have done pretty well. And Chelsea have had loads of the ball in the attacking third, but Everton protected Pickford's goal.
Well done, Koulibaly again.
So far, conceded lots of corners. That's been the biggest thing.
And not conceded from them though. Here's Gordon.
Well done, Koulibaly. Oh, was that Kante? It was Kante.
McNeil. Patterson.
So, wow. Yeah, because I was telling from how he played at Napoli, he's doing it what he's done there. He's doing it now here. Where he doesn't do standing challenges, he likes to go on the floor to do it. And he's just done it again. But he just knows that he can't put a foot wrong in those challenges, or he could get sent off. That's why he just got a timing right. Come on.
James.
That's a ball. That is a ball. Oh, have a shot. Does our team actually know how to shoot?
James. Then by Azpilicueta, met by Mina.
Well done, Ken. Goodbye. Do it. Come on, Chelsea. I told you it would happen. The tank. Because nothing can get by him. That's the ball. Oh. Oh, Koulibaly, what a challenge.
Mount. Just hints that Chelsea are building up a little head of steam here. Mason Mount. Away by Holgate.
Yeah, haven't been able to make much of those balls into the box.
Yep. Yep.
Chelsea.
Come on, Chelsea.
Chilwell.
Yep.
He's down.
Yeah. Oh.
Looking for the foul.
That's a good thing. Koulibaly, what a challenge.
Sterling.
Go and have a shot. Oh, he had a shot, but it was blocked. Unlucky Mount. Nah. Oh no, Damari Gray. Well done, Silva. Just,
Then Everton's new number 10 would have been in.
Class defending from Thiago
it's just
Silva.
mental.
He knew what Damari Gray wanted to do and positioned himself so that he could cut out any pass.
Okay, we are looking at Aubameyang.
James didn't get that quite right. I think he kicked the turf before the ball.
But could he be onside? Because they're still going to check in VAR.
Anthony Gordon's been a bit live wire in this first
Yeah,
half,
but you can't
doesn't
score.
he?
You can't score with your you can't score with your arm.
But it was a brilliant opportunity. But for that man, Gordon would have been in. That's Pilaqueta trying to nick it. Damari Gray just the first bit well. He makes it look simple, Thiago Silva. Great positioning.
James. Mount.
Conte! Pickford wasn't sure where it was! Sterling was! But up goes
Sterling! No, no. That could have been the moment.
Denied a debut goal by the offside flag.
And he goes, how? How?
Yeah, I think Jordan Pickford will be...
Yeah, you're offside by a mile.
Clearly offside, Sterling. A messy attempt to collect it.
But at least it's positive. At least we're doing... actually playing better than we have been.
Watching England manager. Watching the player who will very much in all probability be his number one going into the World Cup. And was certainly so instrumental in Everton's survival bid last season. Particularly that match against Chelsea before kick-off today was awarded with save of the season for one of the saves he made in that match. Gordon. Still Gordon.
What a challenge, Koulibaly. And it's a goal kick. I don't know where they got a goal kick from.
Good feet from Gordon. He's been the man most likely for Everton in this first half. Judged to have come off him last. Maybe a little unlucky not to get a corner here. Probably the decision was right.
There was so much doom and gloom around this club last season, wasn't there? Their worst finish for 18 years, their joint worst ever Premier League points tally, 21 defeats, but one shining light were the performances of Anthony Gordon. Player of the year here, young player of the year.
I think Chelsea played not bad in his first half.
Yeah, Frank Lampard, once he put his feet under the table, he just continually picked him, didn't he?
Just the only thing is, neither team can have shots on goal because we're cancelling each other out.
Potential in him, and he's fulfilling that now.
Well, he knew he needed that connection with the fans, and as it proved, it was so important. And but a player who'd been at the club since 11, an Evertonian through and through, to be the conduit for that, and that's very much how it turned out. He was coming behind Koulibaly, and he recovered with some elegance.
Can you believe Luke's still moaning that the Fulham penalty wasn't a penalty?
8 minutes.
even though it was a penalty because Van Dijk stuck his knee out.
Was stretched off and confirmation of 8 minutes to be added on. Sterling inside.
That's a foul, ref, on Sterling.
Now Gordon up and
8. Oh, we got 8 minutes of stoppage time. 8.
Yeah, Everton making a game of this, which I wasn't sure they were going to be able to do at the start.
But we're actually playing not too bad, Chelsea are today.
For the money at the moment.
Well, none of us were really sure what to expect here coming into this. What sort of shape will Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea side be in? A week ago he said that they were far from ready for the season. And there are some familiar failings on show here in terms of plenty of possession, plenty of territorial advantage, but in terms of chances created, let alone chances taken, it's precious few and far between. And that was one of the reasons their season tailed off last season.
Yeah, I think both teams after a centre forward. Lots of talk about Aubameyang coming to Stamford Bridge.
Come on, Chelsea.
Mount, Chelsea's Player of the Year last year, retained that particular crown.
Oh, this is football. This is football.
Cut back for Sterling.
Oh, unlucky. That's a foul.
Nothing given.
Cornered.
Behind by Mikalenko. Well, they've had plenty of corners, Chelsea, but this will be the first one I think they've taken from this side. Let's see if a
Come on,
change of
Chelsea.
side brings a change in fortune from that department.
Well, change in corner kick taker.
Oh no! Oh, like the new song that we got for Koulibaly. They do it. They got a song in it with the song "Hey Baby." Oh, that actually sounds quite catchy.
Towered above the rest, but this is Reece James.
Oh, another corner on our favourite
We'll be able
side.
to reload from that far side.
I just think that song's catchy. Our new song about Koulibaly is catchy. Yeah, it goes. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that was a better corner.
That's what they've done, and they've just got Koulibaly.
Beating the first man. Dangerous moments for
It's
Everton,
actually because
coming up to half-time.
it's good because it's the one song that actually fits to go with his name.
Recognising that, asking for focus, concentration.
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the ball to Koulibaly on every corner because he's got the height.
Chilwell in, Holgate, that's Koulibaly.
Oh, unlucky. That's unlucky. At least it's a attempt on target.
Chilwell was caught late.
Play on, just play on. Because we could do something from this, but I don't think we're going to because we keep going backwards.
Reece James has gone a roaming to
I just think that's amazing. The song that we've kicked through.
A couple of seasons ago, got that brilliant long-range goal at Brighton in an opening day win. It's Everton who have the terrific opening day record, unbeaten on the opening day for the last 10 seasons.
Oh, Fort Silver there was going to actually hit one.
Piliqueta, out by Iwobi. Anthony Gordon.
Well done, Reece. That's a free kick.
More of a slip.
Are they going to VAR?
Certainly, but the free kick's been given. Yeah.
Chilly boy, chilly boy.
He was going to do there, whether he was going to book Sterling for diving. But yeah, I think it was a slip.
I call him Chilly boy, and I call Mason Mount. I used to call him Mounty. I used to call him Mounty boy due to his name, surname. Oh, give it that. Or they're gonna give it to Georgine. Yeah, I know that. Because Sterling's not gonna really take the reins of penalties off of Jorginho. No way. Go on! Oh! Well done, Sterling.
It's been one of the few times the Chelsea player's got his head to the ball from those crosses from
Go on!
Chilwell.
Alright!
Oh, it's clumsy.
Get in! Well, I'm not going to get my hopes up yet because we don't know what's going to happen.
Abdoulaye Doucouré might question it, but Craig Pawson in no doubt as he pointed to the spot.
Well, you used the word clumsy there, Bill. I think that's exactly what it was. The arms too.
Alan Smith, you are correct. It is clumsy from Doucouré. He had no need to go in for the challenge.
Just isn't going to be overturned.
And it's saying here that Yerry Mina's got a yellow card.
Jorginho, who has a happy habit of scoring opening weekend penalties for Chelsea. He's done it twice before.
Oh no! If you be my girl. Oh, goodbye. Ooh, I wanna know if you be my girl.
And it didn't go his way.
The one player that you don't like who plays for Everton got booked, Yerry Mina.
Trying to disrupt has judged to have indulged in.
He did it against us, but he ended up losing to England because of Jordan Pickford.
Been so disciplined and concentrated in their defending.
I know if you be my girl.
That was a lapse.
Who's going to score for you guys to have the first goal of the Todd Bowley era in the Premier League under his what we call his stewardship or ownership, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Go on. Don't do your hop skip with the jump. I get nervous with that. Oh, for once he didn't do it. Oh, for once he didn't actually do it. Can he do that more often? Can he do that more often? Not actually do the hop, skip and the jump and actually score it, please.
Yeah, not much of a stutter this time from Jorginho, but he's tipped it away in that left-hand corner.
I don't know why, but Jorginho sometimes decides I don't want to do the hop, skip and the jump.
Italy. It's a crushing blow for the home side.
Get in, Jorginho, get in.
Worked as a unit and not allowed Chelsea many opportunities from open play at all.
Jorginho.
Well, we know that Ben Chilwell is short of full match fitness. Thomas Tuchel
Wow.
said as much, but
Scored on the opening day in the 3 of the last 5 seasons. So he's got a habit of scoring on the opening day.
Doucouré didn't deal with it, and Everton pay the price.
And that shows why we've missed Chile for most of last season, because he can do stuff like that. Half time, folks. Chelsea 1, Everton 0.
8 added minutes added on to the first half, and in the 8th of those, Everton lost their.
That's Sterling for you. Sterling's that good of a player at doing that.
Giving away the penalty, and Jorginho
Be back in a moment. Be back in a moment, folks.
Chelsea, they lead at Goodison Park. Can they end their losing run here? Well, they're on the way to doing that. They lead 1-0.
the workhorse. Might not be fancy, but always delivers. Bit like you, big man.
Get the right result. Sky Sports coverage of the Premier League, sponsored by We Buy Any Car.
The Welsh Fire and Oval Invincibles face-off from tomorrow. Watch it live only on Sky Sports.
Getting into your flow. It's all about how you start. Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar clears apart on your skin before the blades for effortless shaving and exfoliation in one stroke. Because when you start in flow, you're quicker to your best. Put your best face forward with the Gillette Labs range. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Cheers! The gravel axe, please.
The UK's fastest 5G network.
And for your main, sir?
Whenever you need it most. 3.
They say innovation starts in the garage.
True story.
Hey Mercedes, show me what you've got.
Follow me.
That's what I call aerodynamics.
That's nothing.
Hey Mercedes, watch out! Those lights are pretty smart.
Time to recharge.
With that range, we can go really far. Now that's electric.
Come on, it's magic.
Nice garage, by the way.
This is elite level rescuing. Local garages are vying for a coveted place in the Green Flag network. Runcorn repairs fueling up. Salisbury looking nervous.
Salisbury looking nervous. Oh my. I didn't expect us to be 1-0 up in this game. I didn't look like anyone was going to score. So that surprised me. And that is true. Jorginho very rarely misses penalties, and it's very rarely he doesn't do his hot skip and a jump. Yeah, but the difference is, he needs to not do it. He needs to just do a normal penalty. Don't do his hot skip and a jump, because he's turned out he can score it when he does that, because he's actually better at doing that. Yet one moment that we managed to break through and it managed to cost them. Ah, and Napoli are 0-0 against Espanyol. Let's see how the late kickoff is going in the National League. It is Scunthorpe United 1, Yeovil Town 0. And Monaco beat Strasbourg 2-1.
grabs him, his desperation. And really, up until that moment, they've been really comfortable, Everton. But Chelsea, you know, with that big moment there, it's given Everton a real problem now. And when he gets in these penalties, he's normally comfortable, and he certainly takes that with a plum.
Yeah, that's 20 goals.
Take it with a plum.
Jorginho, so you know that he's going to be pretty accurate when he gets into that position. Look, as Jamie said, Everton had kept themselves in the game and created some chances of their own up to that point.
Definitely. We're never in trouble. Obviously, Chelsea don't want the ball.
Is he actually playing? Is he actually playing? No, he's on the bench.
Only if the Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the end of that could have been one up there. Obviously, some good balls in the box. Mikhailchenko puts the ball back in. Chesovsky has a good header. Good save with the goalkeeper.
They've got. Oh, that's Spezia have got Daniel Maldini.
Attack Anthony Gordon's done really well for them. But I didn't see where that goal was coming from. Really, in the Chelsea's point of view, you got another ball in the box there. It's half a chance.
That's a difficult one, Duncan.
Yes, no pace in the ball, Jamie. There is a.
What about this moment here, Duncan? Should he pass it maybe just a little bit earlier?
Possibly, yeah. Make a better passing of it. He never quite gets a good strike in the ball, does he? Delays it a little bit too long. But Everton were really, really comfortable. I didn't see where Chelsea were going to score, to be honest with you. And of course, then the penalty decision. But I think Frank will be really happy in there. I think Everton looked really strong in the counter attack. And really, I think Everton get back in the game second half in the counter attack. Yeah,
because there is still just one goal in it at Goodison at half time. It came from the penalty spot. Jorginho putting Chelsea 1-0 up at half time.
Jorginho, 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 Jorginho. La 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 la. Whoa. La la la. Hopefully, Thomas Tuchel, you bring on Cucurella in the second half.
reconvene to compete with each other and light up your screen. Super League starts Saturday, 10 September, live on Sky Sports.
What a summer it's been, and the Lionesses, after a short break, will be heading back to their clubs because the WSL season gets underway on September the 10th, when you can see Tottenham against Manchester United. Following day is Manchester City against Arsenal, both those matches live on Sky Sports. Tomorrow it's live cricket with the 100 Welsh Fire against Oval Invincibles on Sky Sports' dedicated 100 channel from 1:30. Up next, though, we're back to Goodison, where Everton trailed Chelsea by a goal to nil at half-time. Duncan, Everton trailing at half-time, but were there signs in the first half that they can create problems for Chelsea in the second and get back into this game?
I think there were signs. I think they were very comfortable in the half. So we're quite positive there. I think they can have a good second half. Maybe Frank might think about changes, maybe 10 minutes into the second half, might think about it, maybe taking a centre-back out. But Everton are comfortable, but they need to get back in the game. And you've got Dele Alli on the bench there, who'll maybe be able to do something for them.
What's Frank like at half-time? Does he talk a lot? Is he someone who gives small pieces of information?
I think he talks a lot, as most managers do at half-time, because you've got a lot of information to give the players, all good information. So, but I think Frank will know that they're comfortable in the half, and they just need to get back into the game. As I said, they've got three centre-backs, although they've been comfortable, they could take one out, they'd maybe bring in Dele Alli to give him an extra option in the midfield.
Jamie, Chelsea 1-0 up in this game. It's not over though yet, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, they've not been at their best by any stretch of imagination, Chelsea. I mean, Raheem Sterling's looked dangerous. We've not seen enough really from Kai Havertz. Surprised us a little bit with Sterling playing as a central striker, but he's always going to get goals. He's always going to get the ball into his feet. The most important thing is that Everton just keep patient and hope they might get that set piece, attacking their favourite end as well, Dunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking you through the second half, Alan Smith and Bill Leslie.
Frank Lampard won't be too disheartened by trailing at half-time. Let's not forget the last...
Second half on the way, folks. Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Hopefully better in the second half.
That came back to turn that round in a memorable 3-2 win to preserve their Premier League status. Nothing so seismic on the line here on this opening day. Half-time in that one, you might remember he brought on Dele Alli. No half-time substitutions for either side here. Here's Havertz for Chelsea. And Mount. Koulibaly. Jorginho.
Oh, Jorginho.
They've
had one or two opportunities, Everton, to counter-attack, and they've done it well in that first half. They'll try and maintain that.
Jorginho needs to be better at that.
The focal point of that attack, but the experience of Azpilicueta down the Chelsea right, dealing with the threat.
He's hamstrung a little, Frank Lampard. His bench isn't the strongest. A couple of kids on there. Doesn't have too many game changers.
He's got a couple of young midfielders, teenager Lewis Warrington and Stanley Mills, neither of whom have played a minute for Everton's first team. This is Thiago Silva. Sterling, Mason Mount, James, not a bad ball, too high for Havertz though.
Oh, Havertz.
Now Koulibaly, Sterling,
Koulibaly, oh.
That's Damari Gray who will give chase. Thiago Silva wanted Mendy to come out.
Thiago.
Opportunity knocks for Damari Gray and Everton. Gray, the save from Mendy.
Well done, Mendy.
Everton, but it could have been so much more.
Yeah, Thiago Silva knew he was going to come second in that race. And look how disgusted his keeper. I think Mendy was in an advanced position, wasn't he? Position to come out and collect. Thought that was heading for the far corner, so did Gray. Another chance for Everton, goes begging on the counter.
All right then.
From this side in the first half without
anything
to show for them. Everton a little wasteful from their first to their second period. Well, there's Chelsea's new number 26. No one has worn that number since the retirement of John Terry, and Kalidou Koulibaly got on the phone to John Terry. You might have seen the clip on social media to request his permission to bring the number out of retirement. And the former Chelsea captain feeling that he was a word.
If he plays like that throughout the season, we could be in for some good 20. Number 26 should be doing the shirt justice.
Really good interceptions, his passing's been progressive.
That's a neat touch from Kante to release.
Go on, Sterling.
He's still going to Corey. His heart must have been in his mouth for a moment. He was leaning on Sterling, then he realised where he was in the pitch. Gray.
Well done.
For all the experience, Alan, that they have at the back, Chelsea, and there's plenty of that. The pace of the Everton attack, they can get Gray, particularly Gordon, running at them, and there's joy to be had.
Yeah. Surely would be the message from that part of half time. There will be chances for you, particularly on the counter.
Chelsea's away form last season wasn't really the problem, wasn't really the reason they finished so far off the top two. Picked up 40 of their 76 points away from home. It was just 3 fewer than Liverpool and 6 behind the champion City. Only lost 3 games all season, and one of those came here. It was all those drop points at home that was the problem.
Go on, Chelsea.
First home game next weekend, part of Super Sunday, as they welcome Antonio Conte and Spurs. Spurs 4-1 winners today. I think I'm right in saying it's their biggest opening day win since David Pleat was in charge back in the 80s. Clive Allen among the goals that day. Living up to the pre-season billing, aren't they, Tottenham, in the opening weekend? To Corey. Gordon will get there ahead of Thiago Silva. Dwight McNeil.
Well defended. Well defended, Silva.
Yeah, it's been fairly quiet, Dwight McNeil, but it was on his left foot. I thought he might have fancied a drive. Fancied testing Mendy here.
Larry Mina can be so strong in the air, can't he? England found that out. It's Dwight McNeil closest to that. It will be clever cutback.
What a save!
Mendy's out of position.
Well done, Mendy. Well defended.
Yeah, 2 charging down to Couré's shot.
And that's a foul straight away.
Mendy, the keeper, plenty behind it, the midfielder. There's a bit of a flap from the keeper initially, but this is a good save from him.
Sterling. Jorginho. Spotted that angled run from Mason Mount. Mason Mount, who owes Frank Lampard so much for the progression of his career, that loan spell at Derby County, and his faith to put him in the first team at Stamford Bridge, and in fact he was captain, wasn't he, Mason Mount, in what ended up being Frank Lampard's final game in charge at FA Cup tie against Luton.
That's a foul.
McNeil for Everton. Decore. Gordon lurking. Thiago Silva.
Well done, Silva, again.
The danger. But Everton sensing that they can really get some joy.
Yeah, they should be encouraged with the way things are panning out in this second half.
Chilwell. Interesting to see how many minutes he gets. Thomas Tuchel talking about how we're going to be cautious with him over the coming weeks and months. Long time out from a very bad injury. Did have a token appearance on the final day last season, but the last match he started in all competitions was the match in which he picked up the injury, that handsome Champions League group phase win at Stamford Bridge against Juventus, and that was 9 months ago now.
Well, we'll be delighted with the part he's played here, winning that penalty.
Come on, Chelsea. Oh, look, he's Sterling. Ah, ref.
Leaning into Patterson and gifting Everton a free kick. James. I guess in terms of transfers for Everton, the biggest story this season has been the departure of Richarlison. How to replace the 53 goals he scored for them in the last 3 seasons. They got a hefty fee from him. There's a yellow card for time wasting. Reece James as the recipient of that.
Come on, boys.
Havertz. There's Chilwell.
Come on, Chile. Unlucky.
Everton pro.
Unlucky. Unlucky, Chile.
Well, as we touched on earlier, it's very much high up on the list of refereeing priorities at the start of this new season to clamp out any form of time wasting.
Go on. Go on, Mount. Unlucky Mount.
And it's Iwobi who comes away with it for Everton. Decore.
Well done, Silva. Again. I can't get enough of saying that guy's name because he's just that good of a defender.
We'll see this first 10 minutes of the second half. The response to going behind so late in the first is very encouraging indeed.
Well done, ref.
Yeah, just crying out for a striker, aren't they, Everton? Somebody used to that central position. Can he get anything done before the transfer window closes?
There's Salman Rondon.
Is an Everton striker, but not available today because of suspension.
Come on, Chelsea.
Here's Azpilicueta, the Chelsea captain, trying to inject a bit of pace.
Oi!
Mikalenko slides in. Got the ball. Chelsea.
Corner, take that. Another corner.
It's a comparatively rare second half sortie into this sort of territory for Chelsea.
Go on, shoot! Oh.
Hoists it clear.
Just keep going down. That's a ball. That's to no one.
To lose his bearings.
We've still got it. Get up. You baby, we are famous CFC.
Sterling.
Free, wherever you may be, we are famous CFC. Come on, boys.
Really, you get a thing of playing within themselves, not overexerting themselves.
Well, they've had plenty of the ball. They haven't created plenty of chances. It hasn't been the most dynamic display by Chelsea, but they have the lead as we approach the hour mark.
Oh, Sterling.
And given their recent record here, I'd certainly settle for this if this was the status quo in half an hour's time. Jorginho.
That's a ball. Go on, Mount. Go on, have a crack.
Koulibaly. Azpilicueta.
That was a bit late. That was very late.
Excellent organisation and discipline about Everton.
Well done.
Just that one momentary lapse of reason by Abdoulaye Doucouré, which led to the penalty.
Oh, they're bringing on Dele Alli or Everton. Bring on Dele Alli.
So often in the past, the scourge of Chelsea. We'll get half an hour to see if he can dip into his greatest hits and lay a glove on them again.
Yeah, the most likely candidate to come on.
Oh.
Most experience when you're looking for an attack-minded player. He's been a shadow of his former self.
Well done, Koulibaly. Chile, what are you doing there? You put Koulibaly under pressure.
Now, you never know exactly what's going on, but the fact that without a host of available strikers today, Dele Alli still unable to make the starting lineup. Dwight McNeil's debut here at Goodison Park in the Premier League for Everton has lasted an hour.
Yeah, did find it hard to get into the game.
Does he know his name's Dele Alli, not Dele? Dele, oh.
Today's attendance 39,254.
Looking at Dele Alli in the warm-up and he couldn't do a thing right. Fluffing his shots.
Come on, Chelsea.
Well, he was a game changer, wasn't he, when he came on against Crystal Palace here in May? So he can spark Everton back into the game. Mikalenko's well forward.
It's a lovely pick out from James Tarkowski, this one. And when he chested it like this, Mikalenko, the volley was certainly on, he couldn't resist it.
That's the sort of time of the match where we usually see substitutions. Everton have made one. Chelsea, I think, are going to make a couple, judging by the flurry of activity on their bench.
Can you please bring on Cucurella, please? I want to see how he plays.
With a bit more quality to call on. With a loose pass, they invite Everton
Come on,
into the
dunk.
fray.
Come on, Chelsea.
Beyond Koulibaly.
Well done. Get rid.
Now Chilwell to carry.
And that's a foul. Because you literally did push him.
The free kick.
You know you're pushing because he fell.
Although he makes the case that the fall from Chilwell didn't exactly match the level of contact. And Scott Ledger on this near side. He has given Chelsea the decision. Koulibaly has picked up some cramp.
Because Koulibaly has done a lot of running, I'll give him that.
Gets a little help from his friends, and there, in the middle there, is Amadou Onana. Best part of £30 million. Everton are set to pay Lille for his services. He's a young, dynamic midfielder. Big lad, 6'4". He'll come in to cut out the squad.
Bringing on Pulisic. What? You have no laugh.
Rumoured to be close, and plenty of irons in the fire in terms of looking at strikers to reinforce that area of the pitch. By the end of the month, Everton may be looking in a much more rosy situation if all goes according to plan.
Well, there's been nothing wrong with the home side's level of effort.
Changes for Chelsea.
I can understand that due to the fact it's on the yellow card, you don't want to risk it.
Going to come on. Reece James is withdrawn. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I remember in the Bernabeu, for example, last season played as a right wing back. He did it in pre-season. In the second game they played in quick succession against Udinese, it looks like he'll come on and slot in there.
What the heck?
A little bit of confusion there. It's Chilwell who's coming off rather than Reece James. And
fair enough.
Perhaps marginally less surprising, seeing as we've touched on already, Chilwell is still on the road to recovery rather than being anywhere close to full fitness.
Yeah. These kind of substitutions make the situation
Mason Mount.
with the quality of Pulisic coming on, Loftus-Cheek.
Mount's coming off.
As players start to tire.
Pulisic's coming on, and Loftus-Cheek's coming on for Chile. Alright, Chilwell is benching well. So hopefully that can. We've got one more substitute, and I would want to see Cucurella on, but we're not going to more or less now because Chile's off the pitch.
More resources. More on that, I'm sure, as the season goes on.
Come on, Chelsea.
Everton looking to keep up this good second half they've had. The first wasn't bad until that penalty conceded right at the death. Conceded in the 8th, scored in the 9th minute of added time at the end of the first half. Here's Holgate.
Well done, Koulibaly.
Had to come on because of the stricken Ben Godfrey.
Someone support Sterling, man. When he's got the ball, give him an avenue to pass the ball. At the moment, he doesn't like any avenues going anywhere for Sterling. When he's getting the ball, he's having like 3 players around him. So how is anyone? And that's a foul. Ah, referee. How are players getting cramp? It's the first game of the season. First game of the season. Oh no. Everton are even more in the mud if this is the case. They're even more in the mud.
Given Yerry Mina's injury record last season, he was only able to start 11 Premier League games. Looked innocuous, didn't it? Looked nothing.
Yeah. I just thought it was touch of cramp.
Oh, oh, yeah. He twisted something. He twisted something. That's it. That's him done.
Tweak something in there.
That's him done.
Is that a signal now that he's pulled something? Thomas Tuchel very keen to accentuate the point when he was speaking to the media yesterday about the fact that Chelsea are a club, a team in transition.
There's one of our co-control owners. It's weird to say that.
With him. Clear Lake Capital, the other partners in the takeover, and there's one of the main men then, Behad Egbali. Getting his first taste of Goodison Park. And Thomas Tuchel, a half of this half away from getting his first win here at Goodison Park on his second visit, but a long, long way to go.
I don't think he's going to be able to continue. It doesn't feel like he can even put pressure on his feet.
There's going to be another debut for Everton. Ruben Vinagre just getting a briefing from Ashley Cole.
Legend. Chelsea legend, Ashley Cole. Deserves a lot of respect. So does Frank Lampard.
Yeah, they're not sure about Yerry Mina. Given his importance to the side, they won't want to take a risk for him. The statistics.
You don't want to take a risk because, and it's just me from a player fan standpoint, don't take a risk because you don't want any injuries to get worse.
Under a point a game when he's out of the side. Well, he's out of this match, that's for sure. Ruben Vinagre, with Premier League experience during his time with Wolves, he was promoted with them from the Championship in 2018. Comes on in the blue of Everton for the first time.
Yeah, I think he was overly keen to come off Mina, but he doesn't look in any fit state.
Of the Everton substitutions, they don't have any more left available to them. They've used their 3 substitution windows now, and 2 of those enforced because of injuries to defenders. That's the sort of luck from last season that appears to have accompanied them into this one.
Come on, Chelsea. Unlucky.
It's a powerful runner when he is able to get away, but Vinagre ensured he couldn't there.
Well, at the moment, Chelsea coasting towards a win.
Seven.
I think challenge for Everton, still waiting for Dele Alli to get a meaningful touch of the ball.
That's free kick, well done, ref.
Sure now Everton have 2 of the centre-halves that started in their back 3 on a set-piece test for them.
That's a ball.
From James.
Oh.
Glance away from Vinagre.
Come on, just get the ball into the box. That's all we need to keep doing. But then we go all the way back to the keeper.
Whereas Everton has used all their substitutions, Chelsea still have 2 windows to make a maximum of 3 more substitutions themselves.
That's why Frank Lampard loves Anthony Gordon. He makes things happen. He never gives up. Full of energy, chasing back there to nick possession. Back
Come on, Chelsea.
Vinagre.
But he's not had enough support up top so far. Nowhere near enough.
to stir up a storm to get the crowd involved here. Patterson might help
Oh,
here.
that's a foul.
Is down, Dele Alli.
Because I thought Koulibaly literally got barged out of the way.
From the first touch.
Well, you just expect so much more from Dele Alli in these positions. Even though he's suffered a...
Look at that. That is just cheeky from Gordon, just literally obstructing Koulibaly that he couldn't go back and defend.
A difficult first touch, but it just gives Aspilicueta a chance to have a nibble and teammate to come in. He's certainly feeling the pace of it. I mentioned his experience, but Serie A, the tempo is much different to the Premier League.
Can you bring Cucurella on?
In terms of Premier League intensity, you don't get that much more so than here at Goodison Park. I wouldn't be surprised if Koulibaly was among the couple withdrawn, because Chelsea are readying another couple of changes.
I want to see Cucurella come on, but he is coming on. Cucurella! Ambrosia! Ow! Get it! Amanda Rosa, come on, do your thing, please.
Second appearance for Chelsea.
Come on, Amando. Come on, Amando. Show us what you can do. You did it at Southampton. Do it for us. It's not really done much on Havertz, but that's a bit disappointing. So, Amanda Rosa, come on, show us what you're made of. Come on, Cucurella, show us what you're made of now. And Amanda Rosa is coming on for Koulibaly. It's Cucurella. But also, Koulibaly's, they're saying that he's got to get used to the intensity of the Premier League.
Interesting to see how Chelsea reshape here.
Yeah, it's just twice of them. Yeah, they're just saying that because twice he came up with cramp, which is just got to get used to doing a full 90 with this intensity.
Left side of a three, he slotted in on the left side.
But he's good because he's really good.
James going into the back three.
Yeah.
Broja, who had an injury interrupted pre-season. 45 minutes in the second game against Udinese. Played two in quick succession.
The one that I'm hoping is Amanda Broja. If you can do it for Southampton, you can do it for us.
Quarter of an hour to play.
Amanda. Because you know Thomas Tuchel doesn't want to get rid of him. That's why he wants to play him more in the first team.
For 6.
I'm interested to see how he does, Cucurella.
Dele Alli, the intended recipient. Patterson.
That's good.
You can just see it in his body language and his expression.
I never, yeah.
Confidence, that frustration that he can't get anywhere near the heights of yesteryear.
And Everton, yeah. And Everton are going to be without Yeremina for a little bit.
Fading of the form of Dele Alli.
Because he twisted his ankle.
Starting lineup for that semi-final in the last World Cup. Won't be in the thinking, I think it's fair to say.
That's why I like him, because he's one of them who'll come back, do defending, but who'll also go forward. And that's what you want.
Now Pulisic.
Go on, Pulisic.
We've seen the American run this afternoon. Cucurella.
Go on, Cucurella. Yeah.
Loses out.
Why,
Cucurella.
why does it look like a mop? A trench. Oh no, just don't imagine if it's a very, very, very rainy match day. It'll be. But we had David Luiz who was like that. He's only been on a few minutes and I've already seen good signs from him. That he's willing to go forward and willing to go back.
James. And if last season's anything to go by, you get a fully fit Reece James and a fully fit
Thiago Silva's been doing well. If it wasn't for him, I think Everton might have scored.
When they were both up and running in the autumn, Chelsea were absolutely flying in Europe.
Oh yeah, the player. Wow. Oh yeah, the player that you don't like is on Loftus-Cheek.
Which has perhaps given their absentees and their two parties no surprise. Yeah, I'd be fairly pleased with the aspects of his side's play today.
Oh, Cucurella, what a pass! And he did that pass to Reece James, and he did it with his side foot.
The match thus far defined by just that one.
Somehow we like to have Spaniards in our team.
One moment where Antonio Doucouré allowed Ben Chilwell to get him behind, and he pulled back on the left back. And Everton running out of time to find a way back.
And then we got Thiago. Thiago. We've never had an Argentinian player ever, except for one.
Holding off Vinagre.
That's a ball! That's a ball! Go on! Alright, ref! How is that not a... Is that foul? What? Ref? Oh, I couldn't tell because the referee took that long.
I think he got hold of Loftus-Cheek's arm.
No, please don't say he's... Please don't say he's taking the free kick.
In the box.
For Brighton, he was their main free kick taker. Or he could have been.
But,
no, because our main free kick takers off the pitch, which is Mason Mount.
No red card. Players coming round on the cover.
Or it's either one of them, because they share who takes them most of the time. Depending on where the foul's taking place and the position of the free kick. Nope, they're 0-0 against Espanyol. This is embarrassing. Why are we drawing 0-0 to Espanyol?
Well, this is a position that would favour the left footer.
Oh, it just makes me laugh.
Cucurella afforded the opportunity to take this on his debut. Only scored one goal, and that was in the win against Manchester United at the Amex towards the end of last season.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
New boy. We'll leave it to Reece James. He'll fire it over his England colleague Trossard.
Mikalenko. Mikalenko. Dortmund are beat. Yep, Dortmund are beating Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. Marco Reus.
They're going to try and take some chances now, throw more men forward.
Jorginho. Sterling.
Oh, Cucurella. Oh, the ball. Oh.
Just wide. Well, it's a terrific block to deny the two debutants combining for a goal.
Yeah, that was heading for the bottom corner, wasn't it? Nikolenko doing
No, I don't.
to throw himself in front of it. Sterling thinks he scored.
Oh no. Has he gone to like tell ref or something?
And by James, collected by Pickford.
I haven't heard that in ages. So could it be a point that the game could get called off?
As Piliqueta, there's a policeman on the pitch here. There's a medical emergency in the stand just below us. Must be quite serious.
Yeah, it's gonna.
There are new guidelines this year because every Premier League
But you also know that the physios at both Chelsea and Everton would go over and do their bit.
The fact that the game has had to be stopped means that the medical staff from the clubs, from the footballing side of the clubs, are required as well. So we're going to have a stop here while this is dealt with. The Premier League recognising that there were a host of these sort of incidents last season, and quite rightly, given the concerns, games were brought to a halt. They thought, well, unless it's absolutely necessary, let's try to have the games continue, minimum disruption, so that the stricken supporters can get treatment without the game being halted. But obviously, this has strayed into the territory where the injury or the incident is of significant worry that the game has to be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, the medical staff at football clubs have got all the necessary equipment. And they're on hand to help.
I hope it's not too serious, because we don't want it to be life-threatening. That's something that we do.
And a chance for Everton
Yeah.
to pause and to take stock.
Yeah.
It's quite a tough watch when his team isn't threatening to get an equaliser. Working really hard, but restricted today by a lack of choices up front.
Well, there's still
So they get the medics over. Yeah, so they get the medics over, but they also have to have the physios from both clubs.
The new Everton director of football, comparatively new, sitting alongside Graham.
Oh,
there, he's the man in charge.
but you did say.
Yeah, school of thought they are getting their act together on that side of things now.
Yeah.
Not throwing silly money at it, being more organised.
But they said that most of them went over.
That's a slow burn, isn't it? That kind of thing doesn't happen quickly.
Yeah.
By necessity as well, because of the profligacy of the past.
Oh, they're going up.
Have to be a little bit more careful. You can't afford the big money in Tarkowski here.
We don't know if the game's.
McNeil for a comparatively small fee. You know, the days of £50+ million signings here are certainly on hold.
The
stadium rises. That's coming.
I didn't know if they were going to continue it because he had the ball in his hands.
Investment going into that.
Did the ref?
Well, good news. The medical situation in the stands is sufficiently resolved for play to get underway again. A 3-minute stop.
Go on, Cucurella.
Cucurella. who understandably has had a disrupted pre-season. He'll be well short of match sharpness, but he'll be pleased for minutes. Just hours, really. Just over 24 hours after
Even though Cucurella's not been on that long, he's actually doing all right.
Patterson for Everton.
Especially with his moped.
Broja.
Come on, Broja, I want you to do something, because I was excited seeing you playing at Southampton.
Cucurella.
Well done, Cucurella.
Another Chelsea corner.
That Cucurella could be something for us, and that's looks like it's a steal what we've got. Oh, for God's sake, Napoli score!
Cucurella corner.
Cucurella knows how to take corners too. Oh, you know what?
Contact on it though. The first Super Sunday of the new Premier League season starts in Manchester with the visit of Brighton. That's from 1 o'clock. And part 2, we cast an eye on the champions. Erling Haaland goes to the Olympic Stadium to take on West Ham.
Pulisic ain't that big of a player.
Gordon.
Well, if anybody's going to make a difference for Everton, you'd imagine it'd be Anthony Gordon. He's put so much into this game.
Come on, Chelsea.
Under normal circumstances, we would be into the dying embers of the match, but not so here.
Get it out.
Lots of added time. In by Patterson. Gordon will retrieve. Vinagre. Mikolenko.
Oh, the guy went down like a sack of poo.
Chelsea, that's the last thing you want.
Vinagre went down. He needs to definitely go on weights.
Into the box. It's a soft one, isn't it? It's a harsher one.
Oh no.
Gray and Vinagre, the two options here.
We've got 10 minutes of added on time, 10 minutes. Folks, 10 minutes.
Delivery from Gray. Thiago Silva.
Nah. Never handball, ref.
Gray's cross.
Well, potential handball, but VAR have had a look. For Everton, they've just got to bring a bit of chaos to these last.
That's still mental. 10 minutes of added on time. 10.
And everyone's back for Chelsea. So Iwobi.
It's going to be hand to the pump now, which we don't want. Can we please get a second and we can literally ease the pain?
Thiago Silva.
Sterling, chase. I'll get the ball to Amanda Broja.
Jorginho's header falling to Doucouré. Now Dele Alli. Iwobi.
This is. Thank you very much. Oh, Thiago.
You might have heard us mention earlier on that the experience in Chelsea's back line was significant. A combined age of 100, the one that started it. Koulibaly's already departed, and look, Thiago Silva tweaking a hamstring.
Yeah, whether it is just cramp, as it looks to be, or a bit of a strain of the muscle. Do not want to be losing him for any period of time. Showing his composure and class once again here.
Look at that, 1-1-1. Match ranked, 1 on everything. That just shows how good Thiago Silva is.
Well, they won't want to go into the game against Tottenham next Sunday at Stamford Bridge, their first home game of the season without Thiago Silva, that's for sure. Damari Gray.
Damari Gray went down too easily.
Cucurella. Pulisic gives chase.
Go on, Sterling. Pulisic giving chase. I would expect that to be someone like Sterling to give chase.
Well, it looks to be moving okay, actually, Thiago Silva. So, maybe no rush substitution, although Chelsea do still have one in the bank, and they've got Trevor Chalobah on their bench who could come on.
Come on, Chelsea. I still can't believe I've never felt this nervous in a game, and it's only game 1. Just keep. Come on, Chelsea.
Ryan Sterling.
Go on, Sterling.
Silva still hurling himself around. Just over 5 minutes of added time to go, and it looks like Chelsea are just about doing enough. And should it end like this, there will be encouragement for Frank Lampard. His side have performed well, but the fates, you could argue, have conspired against them, particularly in terms of the substitutions. Not that they have particular strength and depth on their bench, but the fact that they had to make 2 of their 3 changes because of injury certainly didn't help their cause.
Yeah, always going to be a tough start against Chelsea, but as you say, those injuries have made it harder still. But it'll take plenty of positives.
And as if to emphasise the current chasm in terms of resources, Chelsea have gone through this match by the look of things without even using Crystal Palace's Player of the Year last season. Conor Gallagher remains on the bench.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Roja. Free kick.
Well done, ref. Yeah, 'cause you had it's for injuries and also for that a medical emergency.
There is Conor Gallagher. And a chance to impress Gareth Southgate this afternoon.
Come on, Chelsea.
Well, this is going to be an extraordinary season, isn't it, in terms of physical demands for players. Obviously, we know the World Cup's in the middle of it. The start of the season, a rarity in terms of having 3 weeks to begin with, but then the Champions League and the Carabao Cup kicks in for Chelsea.
Go on, oh, that was actually a decent header.
So many games squeezed in before the start of the World Cup. And the Premier League breaks on the weekend of November the 13th. So everyone will get a chance.
Yeah, a season like no other. A real challenge for all those sports scientists at every club.
Go on, Pulisic.
Different levels of fitness.
Go on, go on. Go on. Go on. Oi. Pulisic actually did quite well there. Well done. Well done. For him to go and nid that ball from Pickford, that was actually quite decent. But also, you could have robbed the keeper at that point.
Still had the ball, Pulisic. Chelsea won't be too bothered about that. They can take the time now.
Well, he will get a couple of minutes. Conor Gallagher.
Yes, here he comes, Conor Gallagher.
Cool as he usually is from the spot. Well, he did miss a penalty at West Ham last season. In Premier League terms, he very rarely slips up, and he certainly didn't as he sent Pickford.
One of our own that I think might actually do well with us.
He ambles off. And Conor Gallagher comes on.
I hope.
For what is a
Just don't let him take a penalty.
Chelsea debut.
That's the one thing, just don't let him take a penalty.
Offside against N'Golo Conte. Well, just over a minute to go. So, Alan, I'm going to ask you for your player of the match.
Well, by far,
Get in, Thiago Silva, man of the match.
He's like a Brazilian Rolls-Royce, isn't he? Rarely has a bad game.
Oh,
His positioning is
yes,
second to none.
yes. We've now found Thiago Silva's nickname. He's now called the Brazilian Rolls-Royce.
Before that, for a free kick to Everton.
Thank you, Alan Smith, for giving us that nickname for him.
Chance, perhaps.
He's like a car that doesn't stop running.
Well, this is it for Everton. Final chance to steal a point. On by Holgate. There's Azpilicueta. Cucurella. Everton throw. Wade Pawson looks at his watch. Holgate hurls it in. Gallagher gets a nod.
Come on, get it out.
Free kick Everton. Yellow card for Mark Cucurella, who kicked the ball away. And in the 101st minute of the match, Everton seek an equaliser.
Come on, Chelsea.
Kamari Gray delivers, Tarkowski rises.
Well done, Mendy.
Falls on it for Chelsea, and that should be that.
Get in.
It's an opening day win for Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea.
Full time, Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Like, subscribe.